for sure. The back-to-backs kind of got us. So we all kind of doing what we need to, get what we need to be ready for our next game, which is Friday.
Friday.
Doing the best we can, man.
Or Matt Frayer.
Yeah, obviously Kelsey mentioned it's a back-to-back, 11 games in 20 days. It was kind of a sluggish start for you guys. Just kind of, was it just tiredness or kind of what happened in the first quarter?
I think it's a combination of everything. I think mentally we just kind of as an organization, we just kind of probably need a day or two to decompress. But yeah, probably a combination of all that together. Probably just collectively, coming off a win, but having to get on a private jet right after that is just, the back-to-back whole situation just kind of messes up probably.
This is a question for Kelsey or NaLyssa, both of you if possible. Just follow up on the schedule. 11 games, that's the most in the WNBA. Do you guys as a team feel it's impacting you at all? Playing that many more games in comparison to others?
I mean, it's good and bad. I feel like you get to learn from your mistakes a lot more times than a lot of teams. And then also it's just wear and tear on your body, having 2 back-to-back games already and just playing like every other day. But, at the end of the day, this is our job, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, I think for us, like you said, it's kind of it's a punch in the gut right now because it's kind of how it feels. But I think collectively, if we could use everything that we've been through from the start to now, I think that we could be a really great playoff team if we put our minds to it.
For each of you, in turn, Liz, to start, defensively tonight, it seemed like a lot of the strategy when you had people down low was as much to bother them as anything else. So, just kind of take me through what you're thinking is they obviously throw so much length at you.
For their defense or our defense?
For your defense, or when you're defending under the rim.
I mean, we're defending great players, so I don't know. We went in there with certain schemes. We didn't execute every single scheme, but I mean, we tried our best. We still have a lot to work on, so we'll take it into the next game.
And Kelsey, you mentioned playoffs, and obviously not the start that you guys are looking for, but at the same time, the flip side of 11 and 20 is you have, by most measurements, the fewest games, the lightest schedule the rest of the way. Do you feel as if in a certain way the schedule makers did you an advantage that as this team learned to play together, the hardest games are now behind you as well?
I want to say the hardest because I think the WNBA is the WNBA for a reason, and I think the all 12 teams are really, really great teams, and I think we have to be ready for no matter who it is. I will say top contenders was the beginning of our schedule, so I think, like I said, we got punched in the face early, figuratively speaking, and I think that being able to get this experience you right, I think going into down stretches of the rest of our season, we should be able to punch back and respond early and respond on time and not have losses like this, that's for sure.
Doug.
Hey, Kelsey, how much practice have you guys had since preseason? Any? 0, 1 day?
Probably 1 or 2 days, maybe. I wouldn't even count that as a practice, though. I would honestly say no. We haven't actually had a true practice. It's been a while.
So besides rest that you'll get the next couple days,
Yeah.
it's nice actually to be able to get back into the gym and practice and work on stuff that obviously hasn't been going for both of you guys?
I would think so.
Yeah, for sure.
We're definitely going to take the time to kind of reset. I think for us, the organization has been on a different light than it's been in the past. I think all of us collectively, personnel, everybody just kind of need a day. I think we just can all use a day in our organization to kind of get back what we need, get back what we lost, and use it as a reset, use it as fuel later.
In addition just to the rest, what are you two both looking forward to the most in these next 5 days without a game, personal or basketball related?
Sleeping in, I'm tired. I just want to sleep in.
No, y'all seriously, it's been a while
for
since we
real.
actually slept in, so
It's been a while.
she got a point.
So that's about it, bro.
Matt, one more.
Yeah, Kelsey, obviously, not having that much practice time doesn't help.
Yeah.
Busy schedule doesn't help. But when you do get that practice time, for you and Caitlin's sort of 1-2 game duo,
Yeah.
what's the area where once you do get that practice time, you want to improve the most?
I think we got to make the best of our time, man. I think that we as a young group have to understand that we are playing against, the best of best every single night. It doesn't matter what team they are, and I think that when we go in practice, we have to practice with purpose. I think when we go in practice, we have to actually go hard in everything we do, whether it's layups, I don't care if it's just shooting it on your own. Get your reps and, do your work. And I think we got to do it efficiently as a group. I think when we take reps off in practice, it shows in the game. And I think, once, Caitlin get her reset, and us collectively get our reset these next 2 days, I think we can go into practice with a clear mindset to actually, see that and work through the film and kind of comb through what's kind of like the details of what we need work at.
Anybody else? The last one here for Howard.
Kelsey, it seemed like you were playing at a different speed today even than you've been playing coming in. On the 11th game in 20 days, it just, how much of that is deliberate strategy? How much of that is just you feeling more capable than you have so far?
I think for me, man, I look at the game as like I'm playing. I try to put my mindset like I'm playing AU. I try to use my mindset and shift my gear from game to game based on who we playing, obviously. But I know what my body need. I know what my mind need. And I put my mind in AU mode real fast because it's like, you know how I used to go. You play 3 games, 4 games in
One day.
One day,
Right.
You play 8 or 9 over the course of 2 days or a weekend. So I just think for me, just the mentality. I'm gonna be aggressive and do right by my team and do right by my coaching staff as much as I possibly can. But for me, it's always about aggression. As long as I'm aggressive in this league, it's the best chance I got.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just I haven't had a chance to get with Todd yet. He was still evaluating him when I went back there. Leah was an ankle and Caitlin with an ear, something going on with her ear, but that's all. I don't know anything other than that.
And the second part, obviously the game didn't go the way you guys wanted, but how nice is it now that you can go home, get some rest, and then maybe get some practice time before your next game?
Yeah, that's, these guys are beat up. 2 back-to-backs in 1 week, one against Vegas, one against New York. I mean, this isn't a good matchup for us. It's probably the worst team we could have played on a back-to-back with how we're feeling, how our legs are. I was really, in the third, we made that run and cut it to 12. I was really proud of their fight. They called a timeout, and then usually we just weren't able to sustain. I mean, that's a really, really, really good team.
Howard.
Christie, a couple of things. Just one, Kelsey, even in a back-to-back, in game 11 in 20 days, seemed to be playing at a faster and faster pace even tonight. I know we talked the last time you came through town how important pace was going to be. Your pace as a team was up to 8th. I'm sure it's higher tonight, and she's a big part of that. What is allowing her to do more quickly?
Yeah, Kelsey's she's got a speed about her that, she can get up the floor with the ball in her hand faster than anybody I've ever seen. Tonight, though, for the rest of us, we were just slower. Our offense looks really good when we're able to move the ball and cut, and, our legs were we were in mud tonight.
And then just the other part is, obviously, a tough game for Caitlin. What is the number one point of emphasis for you with her now that you can finally get into the gym and actually have practices this week?
Yeah, we're going to be able to work on some things on both ends of the floor that we just hadn't been able to. We're, just been able to show them some things on video, but, we'll be able to get into our spacing. We'll be able to script more so we can, all the things that we've put in along the way just to try to get stuff in on our offense. We'll be able to actually work on it, work on the timing, work on the cutting, work on the spacing, work on the screening. That's one thing we've got to do better with our screening. And then also we've got to get shots up. I mean, we've got to be able to make shots. We're getting good shots, but we've got to find a way to get shots up in practice that are game-like so we can make those open looks that we're getting.
Thank you.
Matt and Chloe.
Hi, Christie. It seemed like when the game was getting out of hand in the fourth that you put Aaliyah and Caitlin back in, and then they had to come right back out. And obviously, injuries like that can be unforeseen. But what was the reasoning for putting them back in so late and when the game was out of hand?
Yeah, they wanted to fight. I mean, they wanted to get in that game and try to make up. Try to get the game closer than it was. They have pride too. I mean, they wanted to get in there and keep fighting. So that was the reason.
Was there a dialogue between you, either of them, whether maybe that wasn't the best idea or
They just no dialogue. I mean, we just kept fighting. They were fighting until we decided that was that Aaliyah got hurt and then Caitlin as well. But we were trying to find ways to put the ball in the hole. Get some stops, put the ball in the hole, get on a run.
Chloe.
Yeah, Kelsey mentioned that, this week everyone kind of just needs a day to decompress and reset after, 11 games in 20 days and all the increased media attention this year. Just how much is this like a mental reset this week as well as a physical reset?
Yeah, that's what I talked about in pregame. Like these guys are not just physically exhausted, they're mentally exhausted. We talk a lot about it. Like their mental health is really important, and they are really struggling right now. It's just been a lot. This is different than anything we've ever experienced. And just appreciate the fact that they keep showing up and putting the work in to get better.
Very in front row.
Hi, Coach. You tweeted yesterday after the game just about, it seemed officiating. I don't want to assume what you were tweeting about, but were you more comfortable today with the officiating, and did you have any thoughts on the league coming down with a flagrant, looking back and assessing the foul from yesterday and coming down with a flagrant?
Yeah, I mean, that was a non-basketball play that happened last night, and that needed to be, that call had to be made. And that's just it. We just need, that just had to be made in that moment. We won that game by 1 point. It could have gone anyway. But yeah, we just want to make sure, these guys just need to be consistent. Just consistent on both ends.
Ben, go ahead.
In the back here. You just mentioned obviously the break for your players and kind of the mental reset. I guess for you, just how are you doing after the 11 games in 20 days, and how will you spend kind of the next 4 or 5 days in between?
Yeah, off days for coaches really aren't off days. We've got to get in the video room and my coaches get together and figure out what we do from this moment. What we need to focus on, what we need to work on. It's been a grind, man. It has been a grind. 11 and 20 is tough, but that's just where we are. We don't have this anymore the rest of the way. So now we'll get that time to work, time to get better, time to let people heal. And that's just what we need right now in this very moment.
Doug, go ahead.
Coach, it's just one of those nights for Caitlin. 1 of 10, shot just a little bit short at times, and just back-to-back, let a lot of minutes lately, and just tonight was one night shots weren't falling.
Yeah, their legs they're shot. That's where you're, everything stems from your legs when you shoot the basketball, especially for threes. Their legs are shot, they're gassed. So everything was a little short.